DJI Osmo Pocket 3 was released back in October of 2023, and right now, I get it, this thing is really hard to get your hands on. But what if I tell you that after a year of using this Osmo Mobile Pocket 3, that this is one of the best decisions that I made in my business to date? In this video, I'm going to be going over just a few things for you. I'm going to be talking about the price, what you get for the price, the image quality, what I use this for, the mic quality, and finally, I'm going to give my overall general opinion as far as if you're in the photo and video space or if you're just an entrepreneur in general, why I believe this thing may be the one thing that you need to seek out and add to your arsenal today. Let's get into it. So first off, I want to discuss the price. To date, right now, the creative combo for this Osmo Pocket 3 is roughly about $979. Now, I can tell you about a year ago when I purchased this, I actually purchased it for $724. So you can see the demand is high for this thing, and it's really worth it if you look at it from the grand scheme of things, and I'll get more into that in the video. Now, I'm gonna talk about the combo that I recommend that you get, and it's actually gonna be the creative combo. In the creative combo, you get a few things. You get a DJI mic, you get an extended battery, it's kind of like a battery handle slash kind of, you know, thing to where you can actually just charge the phone itself. So what I just did right now, I just took off the legs to this Osmo here. And this battery adapter would actually just clip onto the bottom, and as you can see here, the green light goes on and it's actually charging the unit itself. Usually it will pop on just in a minute, and it'll kind of show you how much the battery has and how long until you have this charge. There you go right there. And it doesn't want to focus. What's great about this too is that you can actually just screw into the legs, which actually come with the Osmo itself too. You can screw the legs in, and you know, from there you have it to where you can actually just mount the camera, you know, directly to wherever you're at, or just stand it wherever you're at on the table, and you can kind of continue from there, which is great. So I definitely recommend that you get the creator combo, because right out the box you could kind of start creating things, and also you're gonna have some really clear sound as well. But as you can see, again, that price difference, it is just showing that you know, DJI is on to something here, and the price is not going down, but it's actually going up due to the demand. The other thing that I want to just talk about is as far as the image quality. Being that you know what you get inside the creator combo, it is the image quality, because that by far is one of the things that you will need when you're creating content, just to make sure that you're nice and you're crispy and things look really great. Now, when you're using this in the horizontal format or the normal format, you get a really good 4K footage, a really good 4K file, or 4K image, I should say, when you're recording. And that makes a world of difference when, just depending on if you're in a pinch and you just need to use this camera for something else, like when you're filming something with, you know, your mirrorless cameras here, I have an R5 here, that makes a world of difference. And it also looks really good when you're looking at videos and you're kind of playing it back, like, man, that footage looks really good. And you can't believe that it's actually coming out of this little camera right here. The other thing that you would do is if you are shooting in a, hold on, let me make sure I lock this in. If you're shooting in a vertical format, like as you have it right here, you just flip the screen just straight up and down, you have a vertical format. It does shoot in 3K. Now, I know there's a lot of people out there online right now which discuss this 3K and how it's not that great, and you know, I wish it was 4K, and I totally get it, because it's actually cropping in from that image that you have horizontal into the vertical. So good, you're gonna have some downgrade as far as like the quality of the footage that you get, but I will tell you, I'm being honest with you, this vertical 3K footage is really good footage. It's definitely usable, and you will definitely notice the difference when you post it online, because it's not like you're posting anything from the front selfie camera on your cell phone. It looks like you're posting it from the back camera on your cell phone. So I would definitely say, I understand there's some debate out there, but if you're a pixel peeper, this may not be for you. I understand. But again, for the most part, when I use the 3K footage and I'm posting online and I'm just using that footage in general, it's some really, really good footage. It's nice and sharp, nice and just, it just looks really good. And I would definitely want you guys to check it out. Check my links in my bio. I want to go ahead and talk about as far as what I use it for. And it's going to be three things that I really want to stress as far as what I use it for. And this hopefully would just get your mind churning as far as like the things that you could use it for in your business as well. I'm going to start off, and I touched a little bit based on this, and that's using it as a third camera. Yes, I shoot podcasts, and yes, I shoot my own podcast here with my family, but there are many times where you may need just a pickup shot, and you don't have time time to pull out your mirrorless cameras or your big gimbal or your Reds or whatever the case may be. I'm not comparing it to a Red, but you don't have the opportunity to pull those out. This is really good to get those pickup shots in a 4K format. Being that this is situated on a gimbal, and again, just going into the gimbal just a little bit, as far as like if you've been researching the Osmo, you already know it's the gimbal that it's selling, because it's the footage that you get out of that 4K footage, nice and smooth and buttery, and you could just track things and make things look nice and cinematic. This is what you're getting with this unit itself. So if you just need to pick up like a glide shot, or if you need to get in a push-in shot really quick just to insert inside your post-production, this is perfect. And I've used this before as well. And I used it before when it was an instance where I'm on an airplane capturing footage for a large client, and all of my gear is up in the overhead bin and I could not get to it. I needed to capture an interview, and I needed to capture some shots of this particular person as they move it in and out the airplane. This is exactly where this came in handy. So with the microphone itself, I was able to mount this, mount it, but clip it right directly onto her and catch my interview just as I'm sitting right next to her. And the best thing with this being on a gimbal itself, the plane is going up and down, but my shot is nice and smooth. So that's just one of the biggest benefits of having this inside your pocket, because if it's convenient, you use it. And I'll get back into that when I'm talking about just the other two things as far as what I really believe that, what I use it for the most. But if it's convenient, you will use it. So in this case here, it's a really great camera. Not great camera, but a really good third camera. The other thing I want to notice, like say for instance, if you're shooting a podcast and you have two camera angles and you just want to just go ahead and get a third camera angle because you may use it. Let's say if you didn't have a camera, you could actually use this as a third camera at this point, because in the Creator Combo, you actually get a wide angle lens, and it's like this little itty bitty thing right here as far as what you would just mount directly onto the camera itself. I'll pop it on, and it is magnetic, and it opens up that shot even more. So if you have a two-person podcast that you're filming, and you just want a shot that you can cut to really quick as far as a wide shot, a safe shot, this is really good. And I've done this before as well, and the 4K footage that pops out of it, once you have your lighting and everything correctly, you really don't notice the difference. Now again, I'm not going to say that it's going to be identical to that of an R5, because that's not going to happen. The sensor size is completely different. But if you're in the case here, if you're just using it because you just need to get a shot in, this is perfect to do. Trust me, it is. It's perfect to do. The other thing that I want to touch on as far as what I use it for the most is vlogging. So if you follow me, or if you look through my channel, you see that I've traveled a lot with my photo and video business. So at times when I'm on the airplane and I need to capture a shot or just explain what I'm doing, the greatest thing about this is like you have this real estate of this screen right here. And again, I have it in a vertical format. So I'm going to turn it on right now. And again, you have something called safety mode, not safety, but selfie mode. You would just click the camera right there. It turns right around to you. And now the camera is pointing directly towards you. With the screen itself, you're actually able to just focus in and just center up as far as your shot, just to make sure you're in frame. And you're able to, capture your vlogging just this way. Usually what I do is I go ahead and take this mic. I have a mic going directly to me, whether it be behind my shirt or even just on my shirt. And I'm talking about all the things that I'm doing. Hey, I'm about to get on the airplane right now. My flight is delayed, things like that, because you need to capture all the things that are happening behind the scenes. Another thing that I do is I turn it into the horizontal format, or just the 4K format. I turn it around and I'm just documenting the different things that I have. Yes, you could do it on your cell phone, but it is the smoothness of this shot that you're actually getting, and it's the quality of the image that you see after when you take this footage off and you're sitting here and like, man, they did something good here. So this is what I use it for the most as far as vlogging, and just kind of just getting all the overall scenes and making sure that I could capture all of this so I could show this on the YouTube channel and what I'm doing when I'm doing it. The final thing, and I would say by far the thing that I use this for the most, and this is daily. When I mean daily, oh my God, it's daily. And it's like one of the things that I don't want to say it, but it's a game changer, but it's a complete game changer as far as what I use it for, is the complete behind the scenes. This right here literally changed my business altogether, because I was able to capture the behind the scenes, and it's the way I'm able to capture the behind the scenes. This goes hand in hand with that #1 feature that I love on it, but I'll just talk about it. This is my videographer. This is my D-Rod. This is my art .mp4 with Omar. This is the one thing that I use if I don't have an assistant with me, if there's not another photographer with me, if there's not another videographer there on the gig that I'm doing, to capture everything that I'm capturing behind the scenes. It's showing me, as far as like the business owner or the content creator, while I'm capturing the content for the client. There's a big saying, it's a really good saying that my mentor always tells me. He said, just make sure that when you're posting that you are the content. Gary Vee says this as well. You are the content. You don't have to search for content. You're the content. This helps me with becoming or being the content. So how do I do that? I'm glad you asked. So usually what I do, let's say for instance, I'm on a wedding. Okay, let's just say that I'm on a wedding. I would have this mic'd up. I'll have myself mic'd up. And the greatest thing about it, it's transmitting wirelessly my great audio from this mic directly to my Osmo. I would set the Osmo up usually on a tripod, and usually the way I do that is like I just unscrew the bottom and see this threaded screw in right here. I screw it to the top of the tripod, and that's how I'm able to move things around and move different shots. If I'm taking some, let's say some brand images with an individual, I'm able to move those around when I'm moving my shot around. So the greatest thing about it, and I'm going to go ahead and move to my next point, is talking about the number one thing that I use this for, and it's the active tracking. I'm just got to say this. The active tracking is amazing on this. If you're familiar with any type of DJI products, you already know. The active track is something that you use on the drones. If you want to just go ahead and active track on a building, you just drag on the building, it locks on. You can move the drone around, that stays in focus. It's the same thing here, and I'll demonstrate for you guys real quick. You could do this both in horizontal when it's like this mode, and also in vertical, that selfie mode as well too. So right now it's locked onto me. Just look at the gimbal itself. Now I'm moving around this way and the gimbal is following me. I'm not moving the joystick, it's just tracking in on me. So this is exactly what I do. I just set this up on a tripod, and then from there, I would have it just track me. I would double click myself, make sure the screen is on me, double click myself, and then I'm moving around. But while it's tracking me, even though I'm 100 feet away, it's still capturing my audio. So this is exactly, and I'm bumping the mic, but this is exactly how I actually use this. And I'm gonna go ahead and just grab my camera and give you guys a good illustration. So if you are a photographer or videographer, or even if you're a business owner, let's say for instance, if you're making wood cabinets, or if you are painting, or if you are a used car salesman, whatever it is that you're doing, and this is tracking you as you're creating content, and it's capturing you as you're creating the content, you're talking to it. So I have my lens here, and let's just say I'm on a brand shoot. I have a model, and they're modeling, a piece of clothing for a brand. Literally, I have the microphone on me. The camera's up to me. I'm taking the photos. I'm communicating with my individual, but I'm talking as far as what I'm doing here. Let's do it one more time, but you're laughing over here, okay? This right here was the one thing that a lot of my TikToks, a lot of my YouTube videos that you see on here is what I'm using. There's no one following me. It's actually this that's tracking me, and I'm able to talk and just convey as far as what I'm doing, my thought process behind it, and create the content that people need to see to know that I'm in business to do business. So by far, the active tracking is the best, and the number one feature that I use on this Osmo, and I think that you should too. Finally, I want to go into the mic and the quality of the mic. Now, the greatest thing about this DJI mic, it has really good bass reproduction, as well as it's really good as far as just picking, just the sound up. A lot of times what I may do is, again, I just clip it onto my inner shirt, or clip it onto my shirt. It does have it to where it has a magnet right here, and it will just go directly in. This will go into your shirt, and the magnet will, click on the other side. But what you can actually do too is connect it to a lav, a wired lav. And this is what I do for interviews when I have a person in front of me and I just want to make sure that they're lav. I don't want anything protruding from their shirt or bulky on their shirt. I just run a lav straight down their back, and it connects into the microphone. And this, or the transmitter, I should say, and this will sit directly into their pocket. So it just makes a cleaner look. It's wireless to where I don't have to worry about, if I'm over here creating, content, I'm getting the content from over here. And I have it all laved in, and I get that really clear and crisp audio. The microphones are so great to the fact that I actually purchased another one because I found that at times I may be doing something on the go and I need to capture a 2-person interview, and I have both of these microphones synced up to the Osmo, and from there I'm capturing both channels of audio from both individuals, which is great. Another thing that I want to say, which is so great about this microphone, that it's shipped, it works seamlessly with the Osmo. You would just sync them up. Out the box, it actually syncs up too. If I'm not mistaken, I think it did out the box. But when I got the second edition, it's so easy to sync up. You just, search for the microphone, it syncs up. So the minute you turn this on, it's already, when you turn the Osmo on, it's going to automatically sync. It's going to let you know, hey, there's a smart feature. The DJI microphone is now connected, and you'll see the status bar as far as the sound bar across the top of the screen, letting you know that it's actually connected. So I can't, it's kind of like those products that just work really well together, being from the same company. They really thought it out really good, and they got this working seamlessly together, and it just makes it so much easier when you're out there creating content, that you don't have to think about like, oh, will this pair today, or is it going to pair correctly? And from what I'm not mistaken too, you can pair this to your iPhone as well. I don't think the quality is so great when you pair it to the iPhone. I do think they have cords that you can actually just wire this into the iPhone to make it a little bit easier, or your iPhone or your smartphone. I shouldn't just say iPhone. But again, you have that option as well. Being that you have the microphone, you can connect it in that way as well. And with this, I would say the last thing with the Osmo and this transmitter, the Osmo is the receiver. So you don't need to purchase one of those receivers that these come with. You could just purchase the microphone itself. The Osmo works as the receiver, and it just talks to each other just magically like that. I know it's not magic, but it just talks to each other that way. So at this point, I just want to go ahead and explain to you my opinion on using this Osmo. Again, throughout the video, I've stressed my love for this thing and the fact that I do need to purchase another one. I do believe Costco has them because I did locate them. But I wanted to talk to you as a business owner, or even a creative professional out there, if you're in the photo and video space, or you're just in any business at all. If you don't have the resources to hire somebody in to follow you around, this is a really great way for you to capture the things that you're doing on a daily basis. You could just set it up on a light stand or a tripod in the corner. You could have it track you. It can listen into your conversations. It could follow you when you're out and about and you're doing different things. You could just easily pull the camera out and start vlogging. It's just like having your cell phone, but in this case here, it's giving you really great, crispy, clean footage that you can actually use in post-production to put full-blown YouTube videos together. Again, I've mentioned this before. My YouTube videos, most of the ones that you see on here was actually shot with this. This is being shot on a mirrorless camera. However, most of the ones that I'm out in the field, if I'm traveling, if I'm out on a gig, it's being shot with this. The number one thing that I could tell creative entrepreneurs, or just entrepreneurs in general, is that if you're in business, you want to make sure that you're posting, you're putting yourself out there for people to know that you're in the business to do business. And in this case here, this is one thing that has propelled my company, because more people are seeing me actually doing the work, or seeing me and my team doing the work, and I'm not just telling them that I'm doing the work. My posts are showing that I'm actually out there. You could hear my thought process, and from there, I'm getting calls and getting bookings just based off this thing right here. So hopefully this video was helpful. My name is Jay. I am a creative entrepreneur here in the Atlanta area and owner of J.August Media. Make sure you like and subscribe, and send this to somebody that you know that's on the fence of purchasing this Osmo Pocket 3. My link is down in the description below. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.